Well, here we are on a nice snowy day, the early part of spring up here in the Adirondacks. That's another edition of the Wausau Workshop, also known as Granddad's Garage. It's located up here at the Polish Embassy in Lewis, New York. My lifelong childhood buddy Chuck McDonald asked me if I'd send a little more in-depth video of this project to him. I sent him the first one where had it running for the very first time, basically using the original factory wire harness, just modifying it to work in this application. This is a 1947 Ford pickup that I've owned since I was 15 years old. It was a pretty nice truck at one point, 42,000 mile original 6-cylinder 4-speed, but through adolescence and whatever comes after that, the truck has suffered some hard times, but I've always had it. She's pretty ugly these days, but she's still pretty solid where it matters. I decided to get it so I could use it all the time, take it wherever the heck I wanted to take it. So I picked up a 2000 Ranger two-wheel drive chassis down in New Jersey from my cousin. Nice rust-free frame, threw a 9-inch Ford under it. The drivetrain came out of an 87 Mustang. It's a high output 5.0 with a 5-speed. Got that all grafted in there. Got the cab all anchored in now. Everything's set up from that standpoint. Brakes are plumbed to at least the front of the vehicle. Hydraulic clutch setup's all working on it. I put these lake style headers on it for a couple of reasons. Number one, they were the only header that would fit this application. And number two, I want to do something a little different with it. So I've got a set of electric dumps, and my plan is to have those modified. I'll run pipe out down off of those and out through the base of the fenders themselves, so there'll be ports cut in the bottom of the fenders for the exhaust to exit. Found out another interesting thing in getting this thing tweaked. I had a vacuum leak going to the map sensor, which really made this thing run rich and load up and actually roll balls of orange flame out the exhaust and idled rough, pop and bang. So I think I'm going to install a little vacuum valve underneath the dash that I can open if I ever get involved in like a muffler wrap, because this thing will be pretty nasty with the loud pipes to begin with, and then a little grand finale with some 2-foot balls of orange flame might add to the color. Steering column actually is out of a 60 Edsel that I had out back. The red lever's the lever that will activate the exhaust cutouts. Use the original rack and steering. Had to come up with, of course, universal off of that, and a shaft assembly. And to get everything so that it stayed in the lines that I wanted it to be, I went with a steering system that I've used in the past. May not show up very well. I'll have to get some flashlight here. It's the same steering mechanism I used on my 27 Roadster. I've had that on the road a couple years now, and that's worked real well. Basically, it's number 60 chain and sprocket assembly welded up into a bearing block assembly. It does the job. Anyway, that's what's happening there. I'm about ready now to hang the nose on it. Got the nose all bolted together. Most of the time what I do with these things is, main thing is get it running and usable, then we'll worry about making it pretty after that. So the plan is get this thing so I can drive it this summer, and then if the spirit takes me next winter, I'll disassemble it, sandblast it, and make it right. But in the meantime, that's what we have going on today, and that concludes this chapter.